Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Of course, today I'm walking around and I have people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the other way. It is 7:45 in the morning. It's been an interesting few days. It has been. I left my husband back up in the room so I can come down and talk to you. Thank you so much for all your interactions on the last video. Thank you so much. We've been here since Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today is Saturday. I'm keeping a close eye on my room, keeping a close eye on my garbage pails. Nobody has come yet to come and empty the pails. If they want me to leave it outside, I do have garbage bags of my own. I'm just going to tell you right now, there is no excuse for this. There is no excuse for this. I've been making my own bed. You know, not making, but you know, turning the covers down. I'll put a picture of that up on Instagram. And I've been doing that. I've been keeping my room neat. Been keeping my sink clean. Things like that. But however, the garbage pail is like the two garbage pails, one in the bathroom and one in the living room. That's kind of like pissing me off. There is no excuse. There is a cart that is outside my room for the whole entire day. What are they doing? There is no excuse for this. That to me is like, that irks the shit out of me. I'm just going to come out and say it. There is no excuse why they can't do that. Rides. Okay, we are 3 for 3 on the rides. I will say this. I did not, and I explained, I did not tell my husband about what goes on the Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't, you know, because my husband really doesn't pay attention to begin with, like when I'm talking like that. However, I'm just going to stand here in front of the pool. However, we ate dinner. We ate dinner that night at Via Napoli. Okay, we get there. He says, what are the chances of getting on that new ride that you like? Now, he gets confused. It's funny. He gets confused because he thought Guardians of the Galaxy had something to do with Star Wars. I says, well, it has something to do with you know, space. I says, but it's not Star Wars. I said, it's a totally different movie. Okay, we ate dinner at Via Napoli. This was actually 2 nights ago, which was Wednesday. And everything was great. Via Napoli, we always go there. We had our pizza. It was great. Because of the pandemic, because of the hiring situation, everybody from Epcot used to be from that actual country. These people were not Italian at all. Only the maitre d' and the ladies that were taking the reservations at the door were. There really wasn't anybody that was actually from the country of Epcot. Maybe 1 or 2. We didn't get a guy like that. We got a great guy. Whether he was Italian or not, it wasn't the true Italian with the accent and the, you know, if you could start speaking Italian to them, that wasn't that atmosphere anymore. And there was always a change for it. Oh, good, look, somebody's changing a garbage pail. Anyway, we ate there. It was great. Walked around. I says, listen, it is now after 5 o'clock. I had this thing. I says, you know what? Let's just walk over to Guardians. Let's see what we can do as far as time. Now, you know, it's a virtual queue, so it's not really, you know, it's not a standby. I walked over to the gentleman that was at the door and I asked him, he says, you know what? He says, just go on your phone. There are some more boarding passes available. You may be able to grab one. I went on to the virtual queue thing and it said 90-minute wait. Says to my husband, let's do this. Let's give it a shot. I says, first of all, the shot that we would basically have is that it's after 5 o'clock right now. Everybody's actually sitting, eating dinner around this hour. This would actually be our chance to do this. The virtual queue was not even a 90-minute wait. I'll be honest with you, maybe it was a 60-minute wait. Maybe a little bit less than 60 minutes. The virtual queue just kept going, and it took still shots of it, so just kept going. Yahoo, you know, it says booyah, you're almost there, one more. So, you know, you had the one more green mark. Sure enough, our pass was loading. Went up to the door, went up to the gate, did the virtual queue. Now the virtual queue was so empty that we just walked through the waiting queue. So I says to my husband, I says, we're not going to get the full experience because we're just walking through everything. Okay, right. Basically, the thing is just to get on the damn ride. My heart is pounding, but I'm going to tell you something. I really don't like rides like the roller coasters, the fast. It took me a few years just to build up the tolerance to do Rock and Roller Coaster, and that ride I love, even with the upside down, with the spiral. I almost killed my husband when I first went on that because he didn't tell. He told me about the loop that shoots at, but he never told me about the spiral. So I almost had a heart attack on that, not knowing. So I figured to myself, I know how my husband is. I know how he is with rides going backwards. I didn't mention to him that this shoots out at such a speed going backwards. I already studied the ride, so therefore I know. We wind up, and I was like so excited for this. I says to myself in my head, and I swear to you on this, listen, I got one shot to do this. I know my back is killing me. I know this is not going to be cool for my back, my neck. I already know what's coming. Do I take the chance to do this? I got one shot to do this. Yeah, you know what? Sure enough, we're up to the next cars. We get the front seat in the car. I says, this is ultimate. And I was very, very, very psyched to do this, which I am not usually that psyched to do something like that. We got on it. I says to my husband, buckle down. I says, take the hat off, take the glasses off the top of the hat, because he had his sunglasses. I says, you want to do this? I said. He says, but why? I says, trust me, please. I says, I studied this. I says, do me a favor. We're going to go backwards. It's going to be a quick backwards. I says, so. And we got Conga by Gloria Estefan. I was hoping we would get September by Earth, Wind and Fire, or I Ran by Flock of Seagulls, and we didn't. You know, those are our types of songs. And we didn't. We got Conga by Gloria Estefan. But it was pretty cool. We were rocking and rolling, and he said we got off that ride. We rode with a mom and her little boy. She says, I've been on this twice. She says, my son, this is his first time of going on it. I says, oh, okay. So we built up a conversation. She was so fun to be riding with, let me tell you. So we got off that. After the end of the ride, you know, the twisted turns, I heard my husband, whoa, holy shit. I mean, I said, it's almost, you know, it's almost over. I said, don't, you know, and meanwhile, I'm screaming, I'm excited. I'm trying to look at everything, but, you know, it's hard to be on there to look. Am I glad I did it? Yeah. Am I suffering for it now? Yeah, I am. The neck is bothering me, but you know what? That could be the thing for the back. I mean, my back was hurting before I got on it, so there's really nobody else to blame but myself. I said to my husband when I got off that ride, I says, listen, as crazy as this may sound, and you know I don't like this shit, I would do this again. I would do it again, I says. He looked at me and says, you're kidding me, right? So I didn't think he was going to give me the reaction. I would do that again. I really would. Back, neck, and all. I would, as nutty as that sounds. So, but I got a chance to ride it, and I really, really enjoyed that. I liked it. I like the speed. I like the fastness. I like the twist. I did. And I don't like things like that. So, like, what is going on with me? What is wrong? Yeah. 56, you know, I'm going to be 56 years old. And I yelled at him, and the lady behind us started laughing. I says, happy 60th birthday, by the way, because we were riding. I said, listen, you got a chance to do this. I said, you're going to be 60 years old. There were people on there. I got news for you. There was a guy that got on the front at the car just before us, and they took off. My husband goes like, did you see him? I said, yeah. I said, he's probably late 60s, early 70s, maybe. You know, him and his wife. I said, look, that's the future us. It was good. I would do that again. I really would. I'm not kidding. Okay, what other rides? Got a shot to ride on Rise of the Resistance. Same scenario. We waited until after dinner. I says, during the dinner bell, let's head over there. Let's see. We did the standby line. Standby line says 85 minutes. 95 minutes. It was no 85. It was none of that. We actually was going through a good pace. Was it basically a walk-on? I would suggest so. Yeah, it was. So that was 2 for 2. And then, you know, earlier in the week we did Minnie's Runaway Railway. So we knocked out 3 rides. The only ride I didn't do is Ratatouille. My husband's not a fan of doing that ride. I says, well, it's basically the same ride. It's kind of like Rise of the Resistance, you know. He's not into it, so I'm not even gonna go there with that. So anyway, all this time the man is now discussing. He says, I have to talk to you about something. And I'm cringing because I know damn well what it is. I just know what it is, and I don't want to hear about it. I really don't want to discuss anything right now. I just want to get through the next few days, get home safe, and whatnot. The pool is so quiet right now, except for the kids yelling across the yard. It was very nice. We had dinner last night at the House of Blues at Disney Springs. It was really cool. There was like a monsoon of rain happening yesterday afternoon. We wind up getting caught in it, of course. Didn't have the rain ponchos, you know, sometimes you just get sick of carrying things, and I'm the one that carries everything. My husband is like, it's beneath him to carry things. I don't know. What is it with guys with not carrying a bag? You know, help a sister out, will you? But I just wanted to point out to you while we're standing here in front of the statue, when we brought my mom, my mother and father-in-law, when we brought my in-laws, this was my father-in-law's favorite statue. He didn't really know about the movie or anything, so I explained it to him. And he loved the little boy in Jungle Book. So, and so did my mother-in-law. So it just, this is where we usually stay when we stay at Pop. We usually stay actually in this building. Right now we're over by the, we're over at the Play-Doh. And that's fine. But lots of things still we didn't do yet. We didn't go to Generation Gap Bridge. I want to check that out. I want to go over there. I want to, we didn't ride the Skyway yet. There has just, it is just with the park reservations, we haven't even park hopped after 2 o'clock. That's how we're. And I said to my husband, he's getting the idea of it. I mean, I says, listen, the park hopping after 2 p.m. we didn't even go. I think we're going to skip Animal Kingdom. We have no time for Animal Kingdom. I mean, I didn't put it in the lineup to actually go have a reservation for it anyway. I considered that a park hop, and it doesn't look like we're going to do it either. There's just so little time to cram everything in. And the 13 days is what's killing us, because we don't have the 13 days. We're only doing this in 7. So there's like a lot of stuff. If my husband buys one more shirt, I swear I'm going to strangle him. He's bought like 8 shirts so far, and I'm like, where do you think I'm packing all this? I have the Skyway popcorn bucket. I have the Mickey 50th popcorn bucket. I am skipping the Halloween Mickey Mummy. I'm going to do that. I just, you know what? I have my Halloween buckets at home. Sometimes you just have to sacrifice things for other things. Purchases I went over to the Riviera Resort and I purchased the Riviera Loungefly, the pink one. Now it's pale pink. I'm willing to overlook that because it's such a gorgeous bag. I was glad to get it, and I used my Disney Visa reward points, so no cash was taken out. When you can use your Disney Visa reward points for a lot of stores at Disney Springs. My husband used it last night for Harley Davidson for a shirt, and we purchased when you make a certain amount of purchase, you get a bag for the amount of $20, which is going to be my second carry-on. He's going to have a carry-on bag, and I'm going to have a carry-on bag. So now we're going to be a little bit more discreet, and that's fine. We have 1 checked luggage. He's got a carry-on. I've got a carry-on. I says to him, that's it. So we're good. So we got that. And at Harley Davidson, it was, let me walk around here, 'cause she's like really annoying me. Harley Davidson was $101 and I think 80 cents. So Disney Visa reward points, my husband called them and put more points on the card because we have points that are accumulated over the years. So for $101, my husband didn't pay out of pocket. My husband hasn't really paid out of pocket for mostly anything. We've been using the reward points, and rightfully so. And for the Loungefly. Now there is one more Loungefly that I am actually looking for, and that is the lunchbox, the Disney, the vintage, the Disney Vault lunchbox, which is the exact same lunchbox. I had that lunchbox when I was a kid. My mom had purchased, I'm gonna cry. My mom had purchased that for me in a store called Woolworths. She paid like $8 for it. back then. And I tell you something, thinking back then of Disney World, I was a kid. I didn't know anything about Disney World. So I just had that lunchbox in elementary school. So I'd like to see it now as like a Loungefly bag. You bet your bippy I'm going to wind up getting it. All the stores seem to be out of it. The lady at Disney Springs at Marketplace Co-op gave me a few suggestions on where to look for the bag. If not, last opportunity to get it would be on Shop Disney. It's available on Shop Disney, and the card wallet. I had a million card wallets last night, but no bag. So they suggested where I should look, and I'm gonna do. I still have a few more places to look, and that's fine. But things are going okay. Things have been pretty quiet, actually, and that's, you know, I want to say that that's really it on that. Just the housekeeping is like really irking me. You see them, you see the carts, but you don't see them doing anything else. I just wanted you to know that. All right. There is a paper test that I'm doing, which is where I'm leaving a piece of paper on the floor in a certain amount of, in a certain space. But I know that they haven't even been in the room because my garbage pails are not even empty. Like I said, I could take a plastic bag and empty the garbage and leave it outside. I think that is very disgusting, being that you're in the hot heat of Florida with all bugs. I'm just going to put out. That really irks me. There is no, and again, one more time, there's no reason for that. So anyway, I'm going to start walking back. I'm going to start walking back here, back to my room. I have my container of ice. Now this I showed you. This I've had for years. It's called From Arctic Zone. And what I do down here is what I have done is I fill this up completely with ice. And this melts throughout the day. And this is what we have. We have hydrated with cold water. So we haven't been buying drinks or anything like that. So not out of pocket. So we are very much sticking to the budget, although like I said, my husband has to stop buying shirts. But then again, the shirts are Disney Visa reward points. So we're not really spending on that. And that is really it. I'd like to show you my ensemble today for Stitch. You'll probably see a picture of it on the Instagram, but I have my Stitch bag that I purchased from Primark, my Stitch shirt that I purchased from Primark, and I'm all stitched out today. Today we're going to Hollywood Studios. Tonight we have 50s Primetime Cafe. The other night we had Sci-Fi Diner, and it was good. Atmosphere of these restaurants have changed. The atmospheres have changed. The people have changed. You could see a difference in the cast members. You could see a difference. Like I said, when we come down, we've been coming down here. We actually figured it out. It's close to 28 years. You are accustomed to certain things. You are used to certain things. Now, I just want to point out something to you. These carts are here for the housekeeping, but no housekeeping is being done. So we are used to being accustomed to certain things, and those things are just not happening. I think what it is that coming down the line, I spoke to a few people, they're literally kind of tired of the COVID excuse. And it's true. There is no excuse for this. Go back to your original, your regular routines as much as possible. You could still do COVID precautions, but as far as, you're not entering a room or anything. I mean, we're all walking around here without masks, but yet you people won't enter the rooms. It just doesn't make no sense. I'm very heavy on this. My laundromat over here, where I usually do my laundry. Now, with a 13-day trip, I usually do the laundry twice in a week. This one, I'm going to probably do it the night before, just to get it packed, just to shove it all back in the bag, and off we go. My laundromat here is being worked on. It's not working. So I'm going to have to go over to the 50s building where the bowling pin is. That's the 50s building. Just another thing to go. There's a whole convention walking past me, so. But anyway, I'm going to get going because I think we're going to head over to Earl of Sandwich for breakfast today. We've been eating at McDonald's, which is awesome. McDonald's is right on the road from All-Star. So, and I tell people that, and they look at me. I said, no, it's right there. But, you know, thank goodness we have to rent the car. We did okay with it. Because my husband even had admitted, he says, I don't think I could do the buses anymore. I says, well, and probably you wouldn't. You really wouldn't. So he's understanding a little bit more and more. I went to get my coffee last night at House of Blues, the bag of coffee that I was telling you, the Joey Kramer Rock and Roll Guatemalan Roast. They don't sell it anymore. So that was kind of like a bummer. Oh well. And I think there were a few other things that I asked about and nobody seems to have them either. So what are you going to do? All right, people. One more time, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for all your interactions. I do try to answer you, even though I'm on vacation, I try to answer you as best I can. Sometimes I do it at night. I was watching parts of the D23 Expo, the start off of the Expo. Chapek looks a little different. I don't know if he's looking stressed out. I don't know. To me, if anybody else notices, to me, he looks kind of sickly, looks kind of bloated. He's got big bags under his eyes, and that's not usually what his picture looks like. So in person with that beard, I don't know. Something seems to be up with that. Maybe it's the guilt at night that's keeping him up. Maybe he's exhausted all that. You know, guilt will do that to you. That's what I came up with anyway. It wouldn't be me not to say something in that honor. Okay. I'm going to leave you now with the view of Pop. Again, have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Thank you so much again for everything. And I'll talk to you soon, okay? Take care. Love to all. Bye-bye.